In this video, we are going to drastically improve your audio. I've always been intimidated by audio, but I've learned a couple quick tips recently, and we're gonna get into that real quickly. The first tip I wanna say is you need to make sure you have a good mic. That seems very obvious, I know, but think about this. How do you expect to edit good photos if you're using a flip phone? Just the same way, how do you expect to improve the audio in post-production if you're not capturing good audio? I just recently upgraded to my Sennheiser 416, and it's completely changed the game for me here in the office. There's barely any echo. I don't have to do much work to make my voice sound amazing for my videos. So recommend getting a good mic. And what's great about having a good microphone is it's a long-term investment. I buy mics every 5 to 10 years. If you get a good one, it will last you a long time and you don't have to be upgrading it all the time. But let's get into the post-production side of things. I have a special guest I want to invite in. It's Editor Lewis from the dark. This is none other than Lewis Gordon. You're coming out of the room you used to work in.
I did used to work there, and it got very sweaty in the summer, so I'm excited to not be there anymore.
Yeah, the air conditioning doesn't reach into that room. But Lewis is an incredible documentary feature film editor, but also Lewis, when he has the time, will help edit my YouTube videos.
I do.
And recently, Lewis sent me over my last video that you can see here. And I had to add a quick ad read in the middle. So I went and recorded that and dropped it in there. And when I heard the difference between your audio and mine, it wasn't that mine was bad, but yours just sounded so much better. If you know how to take care of tropical plants, please send me a DM on Instagram and we'll do a FaceTime. I stopped even using gimbals and Steadicams because I didn't know how to use them. Get rid of all the extra gear that you don't know how to use. Go practice it when you're not filming your movie. And I asked Lewis, what are you doing that I'm not doing? Because I would put on one just default template I had for everything. So you're actually gonna take me through and show me what you're doing.
Well, I've got 3 simple tools that I found on the dark reaches of the web that might be able to help you out. Very simple. It's gonna make any audio sound good, whether it's a YouTube video or even a rough cut for a documentary. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to the effects bin, I'll drag and drop a graphic equalizer with 30 bands, a parametric equalizer.
Whoa.
And for another little spice, I'll add the hard limiter. We'll take it to the effect controls where I'm gonna edit this graphic equalizer. I'll decrease the levels outside of the 100 zone, and I'll decrease the levels outside of the 10K zone. So when you're done playing around with it, it's gonna look a little like this.
And are you playing it back to hear it a bit to see if you're affecting my voice too much?
I'll always play back any audio that I edit using an effect. Certain settings will work better with certain clips, and it's all dependent on the environment, right? This very basic setting will isolate your audio really well if it's in an interview.
You're just taking out the high ends and the low ends, which is pretty much the human voices in that middle area.
And then on the parametric equalizer, I will just select the vocal enhancer tool.
Oh, interesting.
And I can drag these settings if I'd like to further customize for my clip.
So Lewis, if you pull up the preset that I was using, you can see here that I just this was like a one-stop thing I put on every mic. But what I realized is with my 416 is it's grabbing less of the echo in the room. So when I was grabbing that little valley you see there, that was actually me finding the hertz, the tone of the echo in the room. I didn't actually need that. So what I was doing is I was taking out part of the range of the mic, and so it was making it sound worse. You can see our 2 equalizers, one up against another here. You're taking out less of my voice, and that's why I think yours was sounding better, because I was actually removing something that didn't need to be removed, because this mic is so good in its pickup pattern.
And I think it's also really dependent on what environment you're in. We found that this more general preset works a lot better in the studio, but it could be that your preset works a lot better if you're outdoors or you're in a park or you're in a place that has a lot more background noise.
Exactly. You're gonna have to play around with some of these, but when in a quiet room, I've been amazed with how good these settings that you're using work.
And then the third one I'm gonna use is a hard limiter. And all this is going to do is it's going to make sure that your louder noises aren't going to peak. I'll set it to limit at -6 or even -3 if it's non-broadcast. I'll add a little bit of input boost, and that is about all I'll use for really basic audio improvements. You can save all 3 of these as presets as well, so in the future you just drag and drop it right onto your clip and you're good to go.
Amazing. So whenever you open up a clip, you just grab these 3 presets and you're listening to make sure it doesn't sound crazy and you're just off to the races.
That's exactly it. And then Mark Bone calls me up and says it sounds amazing.
It's true. I'll say this too. What we're trying to give you is just the basic steps so that you can actually achieve this. Working on audio is a bit like editing a photo. There's like 10 different ways to get to the same place. And I know there'll be some super technical audio guys out there who will want to leave comments below on what else you can do. Feel free to proliferate the comments that way. But listening to what Lewis did with these sounded amazing.
The audio guys are gonna shred me.
Lewis, I'm actually really stoked how much we've been like leveling up the audio on this channel from where it once was.
Yeah, your microphone has actually been sounding much better.
Wow, you got some ASMR. Yeah, no, the 416 has been amazing. I just recently got, as many people know, the MKE 400. I can't believe how bad my audio has been in the past, how long I made it. I've switched a lot of my audio gear over recently to Sennheiser, including like their noise canceling headphones, the wireless mics. It's been so helpful to improve my audio across the board from listening to recording. Oh, and I also got something else.
Oh yeah.
It's not a new mustache. It's a toupee. There we go. Davy Crockett or a Roman centurion.
I'm going Cruella de Vil.
No, I've been loving how much the 416 sounds. And you know, I'm doing the tornado films and I'm always shooting documentaries outdoor. So I actually got this from Sennheiser. You put the shotgun mic in here, then you slide it into this, just like so. Then we screw that on, and then, there you go. You add this to it, and you can go out in like the biggest windstorm and this fur and Zeppelin, it'll sound like we're back in the office. Look at that.
Very pretty.
This is amazing if you're gonna be filming outdoors in any sort of weather, whether it's lots of wind like this or even just, you know, a calm day. The Zeppelin and the dead cat, the furry guy here, they're a must, so that you can continue to get good audio. Because as we said, you can only sweeten and change your audio if you captured it well at the beginning. So go check that out. I put some links down below to all these things to help you guys step up your game. The MKE 400, the 416, as well as this Zeppelin and my Cruella de Vil hat. There you go, guys. That's the quick audio. Those are the 3 settings. I'll actually leave a Dropbox link with those screen grabs of each setting so you can match them in yours. But play around with it, see what works for your mic. And like I said, getting a better mic will be drastically easier for working with your audio in post-production. It's like working with a raw photo versus a JPEG. You're just giving better information right from the source. All right, thanks, Lewis.
Thank you.
Have fun editing this.